And welcome back to the channel, Survivors. Today we're going to be diving back into the world of Ark Survival Ascended, as we do have a hot topic to discuss here that has been causing quite a stir through the Ark community. As recently here, a well-known content creator that goes by the name of Teachers Game 2 did get permanently banned from the official servers for building in what they call a rat hole on the center map. And for those unfamiliar here, rat holes are like hidden spots in the map that the developers simply missed or, didn't close, if you will, that players have found over time and then obviously use and exploit. These locations often provide some strategic advantage, like exploits to game mechanics, aka like meshing. Now, if you don't know what meshing is, essentially, if we take a look at Teach's video here on his specific location on the center map, if you work your way in where obviously he built his base, there's no meshing. But if you go directly up, above where that area is, you can see clearly that you can see directly through the floor. So if a survivor is, standing on top of this spot, that is exactly what meshing is. You yourself are technically in the ground in this case, and you can see directly through and see that survivor, any other creatures, any dinos, you name it, without that player being able to see you or see that you have the ability to even see them. And this, in essence, is what got Teach permanently banned from the official network. So the first statement from Teach that I want to mention and then also just give my take on is, if you're going to ban me for being in a rat hole, well then why not ban rat holes in general, because most of them have access to a mesh. And with that being said, I would like to state that meshing has always and always will be considered against TOS, right? Like, Wildcard has been banning players from the official networks from meshing for years, like all the way back to even like Ark Survival Evolved. Like, if you were caught meshing, you were just flat out banned from that server because they do not want that whatsoever, especially in a PvP setting, as it is a massive exploit and disadvantage to those that don't know how to use it. Additionally, it's important to note that Wildcard, like any other live service game, is not going to really care if you've never used the mesh. The fact that you were in a location and technically meshed into the ground is still technically considered cheating. However, though, I do think that Teach and other content creators do make very valid points related to these rat holes, right? If these rat holes are against terms of service or not allowed, well then simply why aren't they fixed or clearly marked off as unable to be built in? Like, you name it, why aren't these fixed if they are clearly not allowed? For me, I see it as a fine line when it comes to solving this issue. On one hand, I could say, is it truly the player's fault for utilizing something in the game that the developers haven't addressed? On the other hand, are they simply utilizing the game's mechanics and what the game provides just like any other player to their advantage? Again, it's just a tough case to settle, but my initial gut reaction is that Teach should have known that building in a spot with meshing would not be taken lightly if caught. And speaking on consistency, Teach also made a point about them banning him when there are people clearly live streaming on Twitch how they cheat in the game, ranging everywhere from botting, duping, DOS attacks, and more. If Wildcard is going to enforce these rules, they need to be consistent. Like, 100%, there's no arguing there. If one player is banned for using a rat hole, then all players using rat holes should face the same consequences. And if rat holes are generally okay, but become problematic due to meshing, for instance, then this should be clearly stated in the terms of service, things like their official social media accounts, maybe even the official Steam page, even like something like the Discord, you name it. It should be plastered everywhere if something's going to be enforced more heavy, or maybe even simply just, rules changed for the official network. Now, with that being said, could they have communicated that to Teach and obviously gave him some sort of additional information as to why he was permabanned from that server? Absolutely. I think there should be a method to inform players of what exactly they were banned for and why they were banned, just to not only give that player more clarification, but also to just allow more consistency when it comes to, them issuing bans. And additionally, Teachers Game 2 also mentioned in their video a couple of comments referring to, I guess, players in the past on the official network getting away with either, meshing or living inside of these rat holes. Then they gave that player the opportunity to just up and move to another, base location, but they did not whatsoever actually permanently ban them or ban them at all. As far as my opinion goes, I think that's just wrong. If there has been evidence in the past where, devs have showed favoritism to a certain YouTuber or a certain streamer, a certain content creator, or just a simple player in general, I think that's unfair and that is technically biased. And yes, I 100% agree with Teach that that should not be the case. I strongly believe that a person's size and influence should not affect their punishment or their consequence. The rules should be put in place and they should be upheld equally for everyone. And I want to be clear here that I really do love Teach and his videos that he makes for the Ark community. I think the guy is a wonderful creator when it comes to breaking down the mechanics in the game. He covers pretty much any and all topics you need to know about the game, everything from tips and tricks to guides to how-tos, tutorials, you name it, man. The guy does a wonderful job. I don't have any issues with him personally, and this is not a personal attack on him. This is just simply my take on the matter from an outsider's perspective looking in, and how I feel like hopefully my perspective can help change, the perspective of other players and other people that I see talking about this, as it is a very hot topic currently for the Ark community. I truly hope that his permanent ban here does get resolved in the best way possible, with clear communication from the developers as to exactly why that perma ban is necessary, or maybe removing the permanent part and then obviously putting it on a temporary ban. You name it, however it gets resolved, I just hope that it gets resolved the best way possible. And so now, with all of that being said, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are as always on this matter, in this situation. Do you agree with the ban that Wildcard issued him? Do you think the ban was needed or necessary to be permanent versus being a temporary ban? Do you disagree with any of that? Whatever your take is, let me know down below in the comment section, as I'm very curious. And like I said, this is a very hot topic right now through the Ark community, and I know a lot of players are upset that do follow Teach here about him not being able to play on the official network going forward. As always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel for everything Ark Survival Ascended related. Don't forget that I do host my own community servers here for Ark. It's called Kodeation. We do have one server for every single map that's currently available, and we will constantly expand on that going into the future when other maps like Aberration comes out here in September 4th. If you guys are interested in checking that out, all you got to do is join the Discord. That link is also provided down below in the description. With that being said, though, guys, as always, you have a fantastic day, and I will see you all on the next one.